Hey, I'm Julie Tam, managing broker at LYN Realty in Houston, and thank you so much for joining me for Smarter Real Estate Weekly on Wednesdays. So in another exciting episode in my series, Building My Dream Home, I'm going to take you into the first floor of our new home floor plan. Okay, so I've taken you through in previous videos about the lot purchase and an overview of the plot plan, basically seeing how the house will sit on the lot, and then the elevations, as in what the house will look like from the outside, front, sides, and back, and then a sneak peek at some sketches we did of the interior floor plan. But today we're going to actually look at the official first floor of the two-story home. And this is going to be a walkthrough of all the different rooms. In a future video, I'll go through it in detail, looking at everything from the windows and doors to built-ins, lighting and things like that. But today is just a little bit more of an overview. And what you'll learn from this is the thought process behind designing a home, a floor plan. So if you are looking to build in the future or remodel or to buy an existing home, thinking through basically what makes sense, what are good elements to include in a floor plan, how things should be laid out in relation to each other, and how to have good flow through the floor plan and all those sorts of things. Now, being a real estate broker, of course, I have a lot of experience in seeing a lot of different homes and floor plans and seeing what works and what doesn't. I have represented a builder in selling new homes. You know, we've worked on tweaking those floor plans and making design selections and those sorts of things. I've also talked to interior designers quite extensively and hired one for our new home build. And so from that, I just have a lot of experience and knowledge that I've gained from different experts and professionals, and from, of course, my own personal expertise and knowledge of the market and what people prefer and like. And so I think you'll learn a lot here, a lot of valuable information that you can use, whether you're in the greater Houston area or beyond. Know, though, that in different geographical locations around the country, there are differences in preferences to architectural styles and layouts within the home, and also what's possible. Basements in some markets, no basements in others. So this may not apply across the board, but the general ideas you will get, and I hope that you will find them valuable. Okay, I hate that there's this light just totally casting across me, but that's due to the shifting sun and the blinds that are in my office. So we'll work with it. Okay, so I'm going to go into a screen share so that you can see the floor plan. So here we go. All right, so I'm going to just, this is so silly, the limitations of Zoom, but I'm going to make myself a little bigger, because what I've noticed in the past is that I become so tiny, it's really hard for me to connect with you as I'm talking about the floor plan. So I'm going to make myself huge. Whoa, that's the biggest I can be. Okay. All right, maybe I'll shrink myself just a little bit so you can see more of the floor plan. Okay. So here we go. This is the front elevation of the home, which I showed you last time, the last video in the series, Building My Dream Home. And so you can see how it is. So the front door, of course, right here with the stairs going up to the front door. And then you can see, of course, these are the two front windows. So this is the first floor that we're going to be going through, which also includes the garage, of course. And then in a future video, we'll go up to the second floor for an overview and also in more detail. So this I also showed you in a previous video, the last video in the series, Building My Dream Home. And this was the first floor sketch, basically just, with pen or pencil, I don't remember which one my husband used, kind of our initial ideas. And we have changed some of this since, but there are a good number of elements that actually stayed the same here. All right, so here it is. I've redacted some private information. I don't want to share my address or where I'm going to be located. Wouldn't want any intruders to come and attempt to do anything, because they might lose their life because I am armed. But that's a totally different story. Okay, so first, I'm only partially joking about all that, by the way. First floor plan is here. We do live in Texas, okay? So we take justice into our own hands. All right. Here we go. As you can see, here are those stairs with the gas lights leading up to the front porch, a covered front porch, and double doors going into the home, and the foyer here. So what was really important to us is to have a nice open foyer and a good open floor plan. Not so open to where you're just like completely open. So there are some distinct rooms that you can see that by these dark, thicker lines. Those are the walls. But we wanted the first and second floors to really connect. That was something very important. A lot of homes, in order to maximize square footage on the lot that you're given, they will end up being very stacked. So first and second floor. So basically, as you look up the stairs, you don't even see the second floor. And from the second floor, you don't see the first floor. So there's kind of a disconnect. So when someone goes up to the second floor, it's like they've disappeared and you have no more connection. You can't see each other. It's harder to communicate. If you yell, you can't even be heard very well. And so we didn't like that. And so when we were looking at homes, like existing homes, resales, and considering purchasing one, and also new construction, and then of course, when those didn't work out, we decided, let's just go ahead and build what we want and have it exactly, what we want. Of course, this isn't exactly what we want because there are limitations in terms of the lot size, the building setbacks, which I discussed in earlier videos, just how far you can push the boundaries of your house on your property. And so, of course, it's not everything, and therefore it's not truly a dream home where you can have literally everything you want. But you know what? For all intents and purposes, it's pretty darn good, and we're getting a lot of what we want. So yes, with the foyer having a 2-story ceiling height, we can see up to the second floor, so we can at least see part of it. It's more open and it feels better when you go in. So it's not like you're going into just a ceiling right above you at 10 feet or 11 feet, but you have more than 20 feet. So it just feels really wonderful. And then also flanking the foyer there is on the right, the study. And then on the left, the dining room. So the way the flow works from the dining room is, of course, you get to go through this butler's pantry area, which is also a bar. Now, originally, we had drawn this to be just butlers, which is basically where this wall is closed off and you walk through to get to the kitchen. But our interior designer advised us to go ahead and open this up to give it an open wall. So that way it's almost kind of like a little open window where someone from the foyer can come up and ask for a drink at the bar. and then here you are with the bar being on this half of the space and the butlers being on the left. So basically kind of as a landing place for serving things between the kitchen and the dining. And so if you come through here, here is the nice open kitchen. Pantry this way, large walk-in pantry. And then the kitchen has the island, just huge, 11-foot wide island facing out to the family room, and this whole back wall plus this extra space with appliances. And this is all flanking the breakfast. And then, of course, there's a door from the breakfast that goes out to the covered patio, stairs that go down to this other covered patio back here. It's funny because I think you can actually see the whole floor plan, but I can't. Like on my screen, my video covers part of the floor plan. So I actually have to shift it so I can see it and know what I'm talking about here and make sure I'm pointing at the right thing. So yes, back up another paved patio here on the ground level, which is basically the same level as the grass of the backyard. And this will be covered by a pergola. So where we will set our patio table and chairs. But up here on this covered patio, we're going to have 2 nice lounge kind of rocking chairs that are cushioned, and also an ottoman and a little cocktail table, so that when we grill out and have the sink, folks can hang out. They can also stand out here with the open space kind of overlooking the railing that overlooks the backyard back here. There is room for a pool, but at this time we're deciding not to have one installed because that's just another expense and another set of hassles to maintain the pool. And then how much are we going to use it? Is it worth it? Do we have other options instead to get our swimming in? Because we do like to swim in the summertime. But again, this is a very seasonal thing, is, only in the summer can you really swim because then it's too cold. Unless you get a heated pool, but then when you get out of the pool, it's freezing cold. So anyway, just something that we're not thinking of doing at this moment. Okay, so there's also this sliding glass door that goes out from the family room to the covered patio. We wanted this because this gives a lot of light to enter the family room. Plus, it gives a nice indoor-outdoor seamless living experience. If we get an air curtain where we install something, when you've gone to some restaurants or grocery stores, they have this like a device that's installed up at the ceiling. And as you're walking through the door, you feel this air blowing at you. And I used to just think it was just like the suction somehow of just feeling the AC as I'm walking into through a building from outside, but it's actually, when you look up, you see an air curtain. It's not a curtain. It's actually a machine that almost looks like kind of an indoor AC unit, and it's blowing air down to try to keep the insects out. Now, I don't think it's 100% effective, but it could definitely help, and we need that for sure in Houston, especially with the mosquitoes, and especially in the summertime, when we might be doing, some more grilling outside. So let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit. So the family room is here with our fireplace. This isn't exactly where we're going to have our furniture, but this is where the drafter kind of drew things to kind of, help us visualize how the spacing would be. And then here, there's a little bit of an alcove going into the mudroom. I'm really excited about this mudroom because I haven't had a true mudroom in a home before that I've lived in. And so this will be great. We're going to have built-ins on both sides, and the chest freezer there. And there's going to be shelves and cubbies for shoes and other supplies that we would want to have at our disposal very conveniently to leave the house with without having to go through the house and find what we need to get out. For example, like bicycle helmets and like a basketball and, things like that. And then a huge storage closet here with shelves meant for storage. I think for seasonal items like the Christmas tree would fit there, and a lot of ornaments and things, and of course some other things too. And this is the door between the house and the garage, and steps that go down because the garage is lower. It's on the ground level, slightly elevated above the street because of course the driveway is going to be sloped up to the garage from the street. That's also to help prevent floodwaters from getting up into the garage as quickly. Though the garage is designed to flood, the very bottom is going to be cinder blocks up several feet. So the house is elevated. The first floor is elevated about 7 feet above the ground level of the lot. So we're going to have a 2-car garage, but this is extra large. So there's going to be extra space for storage. It's going to be wider and also longer than your standard 2-car garage. So we're excited about that. We're going to have car lifts in here to lift 2 cars up in the event of a flood. And then we'll also have space under the car lifts to pull a 3rd car in order to have one of those car bags that you drive the car into and like zip it up and prevent floodwaters from getting in. We're not sure actually if we're going to drive that into the garage or actually leave it out on the driveway and like tie it to one of these columns, but we'll figure that out as the house is getting built more. We kind of experiment with how we will do that and prepare, because Houston is a flood prone city, of course. There's a porta cachet right outside the garage, which is basically a covered area. So if you pull your car up, the idea is that you can get out of your driver's side and unload groceries if you have a 3rd car. That's doing that without yourself getting wet. Okay, so back into, so I should say, of course, you see the driveway out front, front yard, and there's gonna be more yard space out front here. What's not showing up on this first floor plan that I had shown you in the plot plan previously is there is actually a T-shaped driveway. So the way my mouse is moving right here, there's gonna be a driveway that goes out to the side, parallel to the street, perpendicular to the main driveway, to where we can park a 3rd car without blocking the garage for other cars to go in and out. Okay, so going back into the home, we talked about from the foyer here, right? So the study has its own large walk-in closet where we're going to utilize a lot of built-ins to store like boxes and bins and files and things like that. And then if we come back from the family room, so there's built-ins flanking the fireplace. And then right here, it also leads into a little bit of an alcove, which then goes into the powder. And the idea is that, we don't want someone to open the powder room door and like there's a toilet visible as people are enjoying themselves in the living room. So there should just be a little bit more of a separation. And also, if somebody went number 2, that maybe the odor wouldn't just travel immediately out to the family room. There's a little bit of a curve. And so that just helps with that. And so, yes, here is the half bath for guests to use when they're visiting, or for us to use when we're downstairs. And then under the stairs, if we back up to the foyer here, is going to be a large storage closet that goes underneath the stairs. I always love to use up extra space and not have it wasted, because you don't want just empty space behind the sheetrock and nothing is there if you can utilize that for storage. Of course, there's going to be areas where it has to be left open for like AC ducts to run through and insulation and things like that. But here was a very natural place where if you don't put a storage closet, it's just wasted space under the stairs, just totally empty space. So I definitely wanted to utilize that, and we are. And these are the stairs. There's going to be just a few steps up here, a little landing, and you turn sort of an L shape to go up the stairs to the second floor. Okay, so that is an overview of the first floor of our floor plan. And I'm going to go ahead and back it on out and stop the screen share. And basically, if you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, feel free to reach out to me via message or commenting. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, I really hope you subscribe so you don't miss an episode weekly on Wednesdays. And also like this video for me and any of the past videos that you've enjoyed seeing, and go back and watch them. It's just a real wealth of information to help you be a smarter buyer, seller, tenant, or landlord in this crazy real estate world, and especially our current market. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great week. Please join me again for Smarter Real Estate.